deer, fable, freedom. What in the world could connect these three things? Well, the answer is kinda wild. It's been hiding away in a story for 3,500 years, just waiting for us to piece it all together.
It all kicks off with a simple question, one that almost sounds like a riddle, right? A deer's running through the forest, it trips on a stone. Ouch! So, whose fault is it? Is it the deer's fault for not looking where it was going? Or maybe it's the stone's fault for, just being there? Or is there something much deeper going on here? Believe it or not, the answer, or at least a really fascinating debate about it, comes to us from the ancient Hittites. It's etched onto this incredible clay tablet called the Song of Release. And yeah, this thing has literally been waiting 3.5 millennia to mess with our modern ideas about blame. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. This ancient tablet, it doesn't start with some boring list of laws or a king's epic history. No, it starts with a simple fable. And this little story, it's our first big clue. So our poor deer, right? It's hurt, it's angry, and it does exactly what a lot of us would probably do. It immediately looks for something to blame. It points its hoof right at the stone and is basically like, curse you, this is all your fault. It's a classic move, isn't it? Finding something external to blame for our own bad luck. But then the story takes a totally wild turn. The stone talks back. And it's not apologizing. Nope. Instead, it gives this really profound defense. It basically says, hey, don't look at me. I didn't choose to be here. The creator put me on this path. This isn't my fault. It's just my fate. And just like that, you see this is way more than just a cute story about it talking rock. This is one of the oldest recorded debates on free will versus determinism. I mean, think about it. Are we in the driver's seat of our own lives, responsible for every single choice we make? Or are we kind of just actors following a script written by forces way beyond our control? So, you've got the two sides laid out perfectly. On one hand, you have the deer, which is all about blame, individual responsibility, free will. And on the other hand, you've got the stone, representing fate, the natural order of things, determinism. But hold on, because the ancient scribe who put all this together, they're not done with us yet. They roll out another fable. And this one shifts the entire conversation from who's to blame to what's our purpose. This time, our main character is a grindstone, and it is completely fed up. I mean, can you blame it? Day in and day out, it's just grind, 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 getting worn down, totally exhausted. So it complains to its owner. It essentially goes on strike, questioning the whole point of its existence. Now, you'd think the owner would get mad, right? But he doesn't. Instead, he just calmly explains the system. He says, look, we're in this together. We are totally bound to each other. If you don't grind the grain, I can't eat. And if I don't eat, I don't have the strength to move you. It's a closed loop. If one part stops, the whole machine breaks down. And that's the big takeaway right there, interdependence. The idea that society isn't just a random collection of individuals running around doing their own thing. No, it's a system. And every single part of that system, from the worker to the owner, the ruler to the subject, is completely reliant on all the others to function. Okay, let's take a beat. So we have one story about fate and blame and another about how we all need each other to get by. They seem kind of separate, don't they? So why? Why tell these two fables back to back? What are they building up to? It's because these fables, they were just the opening act. They were setting the philosophical stage, getting our heads in just the right space for the main event. And what was the main event, you ask? A literal economic summit for the gods. I'm not kidding you. All of this was just the warm-up for a story about gods arguing about, get this, debt relief for all of humanity. So picture this. The gods are all hanging out at a divine feast. The big topic on the agenda, should we just wipe out all of humanity's debts? On one side, you have the powerful Storm God Teshup, and on the other, you've got the Underworld Gods, who are kind of like the old guard, the establishment. So Teshup is basically banging his fist on the table, demanding, the people are drowning in debt, they're becoming slaves, erase their debts and set them free. But the other gods, they're not having it. They push back with a cold, hard economic argument. Whoa, hold on. If we forgive all their debts, who's going to work our fields? We'll lose our prosperity. And this is the moment it all clicks into place. Teshup delivers a chilling ultimatum. He effectively tells them, if you refuse to grant the people freedom, then you can forget about crops. Thorns are what will grow in your fields.
It's an incredible argument. You can't have prosperity without justice.
And that right there brings us to the ultimate message of this entire ancient text, a principle you could maybe call justice before harvest.
The profound point the Hittites were making is this. Social justice isn't some fancy luxury you can afford after you become rich and powerful. No, it is the foundation. It's the very thing you have to build first if you want any kind of lasting prosperity. A society built on exploitation is ultimately doomed to fail. I mean, just look at the genius of this structure. The Fables establish that we're all interdependent and sometimes subject to forces we can't control. The divine debate then asks the critical question, so in that kind of system, what do the powerful owe the powerless? And the verdict is just undeniable. If you ignore the well-being of the people, you will destroy the very system that makes you prosperous.
3,500 years. That's how long we've been having this exact same conversation about debt, about freedom, and about whether a society can truly prosper when its people are suffering.
Which leaves us with a final question to think about, doesn't it? The Hittites warned about thorns growing in their fields. So when we look around at our world today, we have to ask ourselves, what are the thorns growing in our own fields? What's the real cost when we ignore the depths, both financial and social, of our own time?